how excited I am to talk about this topic. When you feel like something is missing, okay, you feel like something is missing inside of you. It also can come with a culmination, possibly, of feeling lost. You're not connected. You aren't sure what's missing, but you feel like there is something missing. Okay. For me, that feeling was oh so present in my 20s. And that loss of connection I filled with a lot of drinking alcohol and just trying to tune it out, trying to ignore it. But I'd imagine maybe possibly by the time you get into your 40s, that's when one might call it a midlife crisis because it's been ignored for so long that you can't ignore it forever and it comes up to the surface. So what is that feeling that one has when they feel like something is missing? They have that disconnect, like they feel lost, they feel alone, they feel disconnected, detached. So this is going to be my experience and my thought on this topic. And you can see if this resonates with you and then take what you will from it. When we come to Earth, we don't remember where we came from previous to this. We don't remember anything. We are pinched off or disconnected, and we are residing in these human vessels temporarily, and we have a disconnect from the connection to there's so much more than what we are experiencing in our 3D reality, okay? There's so much more there than just what you see in your life experience. And I feel that disconnect, that feeling of something that is missing, is your soul telling you you're disconnected. There's something missing. It can feel very isolating. It can feel very lonely, and you're not even sure why. At least this is my experience. So when you feel like something is missing, what is missing? Because for many years I didn't even know what was missing. It's like, what was missing? I don't know. I just know I'm having this feeling, and it was a very strong feeling. And so on the flip side, okay, on the other side of that, where I am now, this is my perspective. That disconnect, that feeling that something is missing, is that connection to the high vibrational frequency that is surrounding you all the time. And a lot of us, we live our lives disconnected and even rowing against the current, trying to make things work, right? Without that connecting to the high vibrational frequency of our soul within to see if this path feels right or does it not feel right. Most of us are very much up in our heads with a lot of thinking and a lot of thought, a lot of confusion, a lot of not being connected to what feels right. So there's thinking and then there's feeling. A lot of us, I don't want to feel. But essentially, that is where the guidance comes. It comes from within your vessel. It comes through your chakras. And it comes from feeling. So how do I do that? How do I get connected? Because it's so important to connect. I can't express how important that is, because I know what that feels like, where you feel disconnected and lost. And one day my angel opened up and she let me know she was there. And in that experience, I knew I was never alone and I was never going to be disconnected again. That was a pretty rude awakening. It was a real, like, shocker in my life experience. A wonderful one, but a shocking one nonetheless. You can never let your angels down. They're never going to be upset with you. You don't have to worry about not being forgiven, okay? The only ones that need to forgive us is I forgiving me. They always say this to me. There's no unforgiveness when you cross over. It's unconditional love. But if you feel that way or you believe that, then you may create that reality for yourself. So it's really important to know that they are always going to love you. They're always going to accept you. And I've never experienced anything other than that. Is pure love. So when my angel opened up in front of me, it was the equivalent of 100 mothers' love for their child. Picture that much love just coming at me. There are no words to describe that. That is even still not the best description to describe that experience. I'm trying to describe it to you. Picture 100 mothers and how much they love their child, okay? And picture that all coming from your guardian angel straight at you. And then it comes towards you, and then it passes through your body, and it comes out the back of you. Yeah, I still remember it like fresh as a daisy to this day because it was so monumental. And in that moment, I knew that I was never alone. I was not disconnected, and there was in truth nothing missing. It was just amazing. Now, not all of us may have that experience. You may have that experience because you need to have that experience. And if you don't need to have that experience, it won't happen. Or maybe some of us are so disconnected that we wouldn't even recognize it if it happened. One thing is for sure, one can always connect with all of this high vibrational frequency around us at any given moment. Even if you don't feel anything, they hear every thought and every word you speak. So feel free to ask them for help. Feel free to ask them to help you feel, to help you become connected again. I've had enough of this being pinched off. I really would like some help in feeling connected. Please. And then give them some time to work with you and work on your energy and guide you and help maybe possibly guide people into your life or guide you to people that can help you further. It's unlimited resources with your angels. They can help you with anything and everything. One thing is for sure. If you want to connect with that high vibrational frequency, creating balance, slowing down, getting enough rest, creating more of a still mind, possibly meditating, but meditation can come in many different forms. It can come from riding a bike. It can come from doing the dishes. It's when that moment happens where you're at peace and your mind is nice and quiet. The key is a quiet mind long enough to feel the energy in your vessel. You can ask them a question that will result in a yes or no response, and you will get a yes in your body or a no, tight and pulled back. They're talking with us all the time. We are all channeling all the time, unconsciously. So what I do is consciously channel. But in order to connect, I make sure I get lots of sleep. I get a lot of rest. I eat high vibrational foods. I work on self-love. I focus inwards. I really make sure I take good care of myself. And bar none, okay, the bare minimum, if all of that was swept away and you're like, yeah, right, I'm not doing that in my life, create that stillness in your mind. So when you first wake up in the morning, when you first wake up from that nap, when you're coming out of meditation and you're nice and peaceful and still, in those moments when your mind is quieter than usual, okay, that's when you can connect with them within that stillness. If you've just had a ton of sugar and you've just had a ton of caffeine, or you're super stressed out and your mind is racing, you've had a hard day, that equates to maybe not being as connected. I'm not saying it's disconnected. I'm just saying maybe that's not the time to practice being connected. You can sit in the midst of a very crowded, busy environment. Say you're near a lake and there's lots of kids running around and there's a lot of noise and a lot of people talking. You can sit and connect to the stillness that is behind, or you can connect to that energy of stillness even in the midst all of the goings on and the noise surrounding you. You can connect to that stillness anytime. And in connecting to that, you can then get that connection that you feel that you've been missing. A lot of us have that connection like, I don't belong here on earth. I feel lost and I feel alone. Many. Okay? That's because this isn't home. This is a temporary experience to be had in which you are learning and growing, like a school. Do you want to add anything to this one? Sure. Here comes Agnes, my guardian angel. Okay. When she's telling me this, okay? When I opened and expanded my energy before you, this was required in order to get your attention, for this is what you needed in this moment. Not everyone may experience this. This dear one needed to experience this in this moment. But by simply creating this stillness within your mind, creating the peace and the balance within your mind, within your soul, within your vessel, you can then connect. It's very easy to disconnect or to be disconnected. It may take time, practice, and patience to reconnect again. But know this. When you practice in these moments of reconnecting and you're reaching out to connect, your team, your divine team, angels, guardian angels, your spirit guides, will also reach out to connect with you. Remember these words, please. When you reach out to connect, they too shall reach out to connect with you. And in many ways, this will be in ways that are unexpected. Please be open to connecting with your high vibrational team, your divine team, in many unexpected ways. She says, Amen. Okay? They can reach out to us in so many different ways. We're just not paying attention or noticing or not aware. So you guys have heard me talk about sometimes your chakras will fire up. So sometimes I have a lot of energy that will come through my throat chakra and make me cough. That's telling me that my angels want to talk to me. Okay, so then it takes me being still to connect and let them form the words. Other times I'm getting a high-pitched ringing, sometimes a buzzing, sometimes all sound completely stops. Like I get no hearing for, 5 seconds. Sometimes I get a lot of energy that goes right into my ear canal, can make it kind of itchy, or a lot of pressure into my eardrum. I have someone talking into my ear. Sometimes I get a lot of pressure and swirling where my ear chakras are. Sometimes I get a lot of pressure on the top of my head. Sometimes I get a lot of pressure on the back of my head that tells me that someone is knocking at my door and they wish to communicate with me. Sometimes I'll get number sequences that repeat over and over and over. So how do we know what these number sequences mean? We can type them in to Google. 1111 angel numbers. There you go. 444 angel numbers. 555, 777, 888. So you get something totally random, like 911. I don't know what that means, but you can type that in and the description will come up. So they may give you, they might reach out to you in ways of, leaving you feathers. They usually work in threes. So there will be 3 moments within the span of a short time, like a week, where I'm going to have feathers. Feathers, feathers. I used to get coins. I walked into an elevator once. There was a penny in this corner on the ground, this corner, and this corner. After I channeled and given an angel card reading to a friend of mine, I was like, oh my God. And when I came down in the elevator the next morning, the pennies were gone. And they were like tucked right in the corner of the elevator. It was weird. So, was that my angels? Wasn't it my angels? All I know is when you see repetitive signs, pay attention. They can work in ways that we can't imagine, so I'm not even going to begin to try to. So know that you can connect at any given moment. And if you want to connect and you feel like something's missing, let them know so that they can help you with it. Because your free will of asking is important in this free will zone on Earth. If you feel that loneliness, if you feel that disconnect, let them know and ask them to help you with that. I hope I really helped you guys today, because I know what it's like there and I know what it's like here, and there are even still some moments where I feel like I need to tune in, or I need to ground more often. I need to create that balance more in my life in order to have that connection. So it's always where it feels best. What feels best? Move in the direction where you feel better. Love you guys.